I want to show how to change some of the colors in this penguin's image. So here we see just a piece of the penguin's image, but here is the full image. And say I want to take some horizontal band in this image and set it to be all black. Okay, so for example, let's take image.fromArray and let's just look at ARR. And say I want to go from the 100th to the 150th row. So I can say 100 to the 150th row. So this part here is a NumPy array, and then we're getting a visualization of it using this image from array method. Okay, so say I want to set this band to be black. And black in RGB, in red, green, blue values, is represented by 0, 0, 0. So all I have to do is set these equal to zeros. And so seems easy enough, although something's going to go wrong. Let's say 100 to 150th, and let's set this equal to 0. And so we get this value error, and it says assignment destination is read only. So one way to get around this is, let's call this, how about capital B, and let's say arr.copy. And one of the advantages of the way we've been working with Pillow images and the corresponding NumPy arrays so far is they take up very little space in memory. So let me go to the sys library, which is part of the Python standard libraries. And yeah, let me import that. So this isn't something you need to install. And then let me say sys.get size of, and let's get the size of img. And so this represents this picture. So you probably expect it to be pretty big. This is going to represent how large it is in bytes, but it's really tiny. And the reason for that is that this img doesn't actually hold all of the pixel values. Instead, it just holds, I think, a reference to where is this stored on the computer. So it's able to get by with very little data actually being held on the Python side. All it needs to know is where can it find this image on the computer. Similarly, if I do this for ARR, okay, this NumPy array where I got an error and it told me that this ARR is read only. Okay, also, it's very small relative to how much information seems to be held there. Whereas here I've made a copy of our NumPy array, and let me see how big that copy is. So you can see this is much bigger. This is like 269,000 bytes. So this copy, the trade-off for the reason we have to do this is this new copy B, it is something that we can change, okay? Because it's not just referring to an image stored on our computer. It's actually its own thing in Python that holds all of the pixel values itself. And so this I am able to change. So let me just pick this and replace ARR with the copy B. And here we should not get an error. Okay, we didn't get an error. And now I can say image.fromArray B. And here it has this black band going through the middle of it. Okay, if we were to say we wanted to change it to a white band, well, the way white is represented in these RGB values is we want it to be like maximum red, maximum blue, maximum red, maximum green, maximum blue. And maximum in this normalization is 255. And so let's see what the image looks like in this case. So what it's doing is it's going to the 100th row, down to but not including the 150th row, and it's setting all of the pixel entries there to be 255. And so here it's all white. What about if I wanted to have it be green? Okay, so the way green is represented is with 0, 255, 0. White is 255, 255, 255. black is 0, 0, 0, but it's a little harder for green. Okay, red, green, blue, RGB. We need that to not have all the same numbers. It's going to be 0 for red, 255 for green, and 0 for blue. So how can I do that? Well, if I look at this B100 to 150 and then look at its shape, okay, that is 50 by 399 by 3. And the list or the numbers corresponding to green, I was just saying, is 0, 255, 0. Okay, so let's make this, let's just call it color, and let's make this into a NumPy array. And so if I look at color.shape, okay, it's 3. Okay, it's a one-dimensional NumPy array, and 3 is its length. And so if you remember back to broadcasting, shapes are compatible if when we start from the right, they're either equal and then work our way left. They're either equal or one of them is equal to 1. Okay, and so in this case, starting from the right, these 3's are equal, and then they're no more, so that's fine. They're automatically compatible once we get that this one dimension is compatible. So we can broadcast from color into this B100, 150, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to say B100, 150 equals color. And so what that's going to do is for each of the pixels in this, for each pixel here in this rectangular band, it's going to set that pixel to be 0, 255, 0. Okay, great, no errors. And now let's see how it looks. So now this has this green band going through the middle of it. Okay, I think that's where I'll finish this video. In the next video, my plan is to show how can we just start from scratch and make some images. Okay, so not starting with this penguin's image, but just start with the NumPy array. How can we turn that into a pillow image? That's what we'll see in the next video.